You've got an enemy that never stops working. It wakes up with you, eats with you, sleeps with you. It's always whispering in your ear that you're gonna fail, that you're not good enough, that you should be doing something different. And no, it's not your boss, it's not your family, it's not society. It's you, your inner voice, the one that's supposed to be your most powerful survival tool, turned into a 24/7 torture machine. What was meant to protect you has become what's destroying you. That constant chatter in your head, it's not deep thinking, it's not reflection, it's mental noise, and it's literally killing you from the inside. If you've ever spent a whole night replaying a conversation from 3 weeks ago, or making up catastrophic scenarios that never happen, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If that hit you, drop a comment. The mind is the enemy. I read them all. Here's the problem. You confuse chatter with intelligence. I'm someone who thinks a lot. I really analyze situations. I process my emotions. Bullshit. You're not processing anything. You're just chewing the same thoughts over and over like a cow chewing grass. No digestion, no absorption, just endless rumination. You know the difference between thinking and chatter? Thinking has an outcome. You analyze, you reach a conclusion, you make a decision, you move on. Chatter is that mental loop that never ends and never goes anywhere. What if my boss didn't like what I said? What if she misread my text? What if I'm missing out on a better opportunity? What if? That's not planning. That's anxiety dressed up as productivity. Your mind was programmed to detect threats. That made sense when you lived in caves and had to run from lions. But now it treats an unanswered email like a predator attack. The result? You live in constant alert for dangers that don't exist. Your body can't tell the difference between a real lion and your imagination about getting fired. The reaction is the same. Cortisol, adrenaline, chronic stress. And here's the painful truth. You're addicted to this crap. It's not just that you overthink. You need that mental hamster wheel to feel productive. It's your favorite drug. It gives you the illusion that you're working on your problems, even when you're doing nothing useful. You know how many real solutions came out of your 3 a.m. rumination sessions? 0. How many times did you actually reach a final conclusion after thinking about the same thing for a whole week? Never. But you keep doing it because it's easier to live in mental fantasy than to face reality. Oh, but I need to prepare for every possibility. Another lie you tell yourself. Studies show this kind of rumination doesn't prepare you for anything. It just triggers your fight or flight system as if the danger were real. You're literally shortening your telomeres, the parts of your chromosomes that control aging, with thoughts that aren't even real. You're speeding up your own aging by worrying about imaginary scenarios. Worse, all this mental preparation actually leaves you less prepared for real problems. Because when they show up, you're already exhausted from fighting ghosts. Let me smash another illusion. Talking about your problems doesn't stop the chatter. It can actually make it worse. I need to vent. It's important to express how I feel. Careful. There's a thing called co-rumination. When you and your friends keep chewing on the same problems together like cows chewing grass. Ever noticed how after a complaining session with friends, you all walk away feeling worse? That's it. You're not processing emotions. You're fueling collective rumination. The problem isn't talking about problems. The problem is talking about the same problems over and over without looking for solutions. Turning conversation into therapy and therapy into addiction. Sharing emotions can help, but only when it's paired with action. If you want to vent, fine. But set a timer. 10 minutes of complaining, then change the subject or look for solutions. Otherwise, you build a cycle where your relationships turn into permanent support groups. Nobody grows. Nobody fixes anything. Everyone stays stuck, feeding each other's fears. Your mind doesn't want to solve problems. It wants to keep you safe. And in its book, safe means always on alert, always worried, always prepared for the worst that never comes. Want to stop this madness? The solution is going to sound stupid, but it works. When the chatter starts, say your own name. John, stop. What are you doing right now? Is this solving anything or just creating anxiety? It's not crazy. It's psychological distancing. Instead of drowning in emotion, you become the observer of your mind, like watching from the outside, like a fly on the wall. Second thing, get out of your head and into the real world. Literally, go to nature. Not because it's zen or spiritual, because it works. Studies show 90 minutes in nature reduces brain activity linked to rumination. Your mind finally shuts up when you look at something bigger than your little personal problems. Third strategy, create rituals. Not magic. Practical rituals that bring order to mental chaos. A walk at the same time, coffee in the same way, small anchors of sanity. Why do rituals work? Because they trigger the same brain mechanisms as placebos. Your brain believes you're doing something useful, so it actually does. It's reverse psychology on yourself. The secret isn't to stop thinking, it's to choose when to think. Limit the time. 10 minutes to analyze a problem, then either act or drop it. No in between. But you're not going to do any of this. You know why? Because your identity is built on this neurosis. I'm a reflective person. I analyze everything before I act. I worry because I care. Nonsense. You procrastinate dressed up as an intellectual. When I tell you to stop the chatter, your brain panics. What do you mean I won't think obsessively anymore? What if I lose control? What if I make bad decisions? Man, you're already making bad decisions. The decision to stay locked in your head while life passes by outside. You're afraid to find out who you are without all this mental theater, because maybe you'll discover you're simpler and stronger than you think. The chatter gives you the illusion of control. If I think through every scenario, nothing will catch me off guard. Lie. Life itself is catching you off guard while you prepare for fantasies. Worse, you've become addicted to the drama. When things are calm, your mind invents problems just to have something to chew on. You don't know how to exist without rumination anymore. It's like an adrenaline junkie who creates dangerous situations because he can't live without the chemical rush. You've become a stress junkie. Your primitive mind wasn't built to make you happy. It was built to keep you alive. For millions of years, our ancestors survived because they anticipated threats. The paranoid guy who heard every noise in the forest had a better chance of not becoming lion dinner. But you don't live on the African savanna. You live in a reality where dangers are mostly social and imaginary, and your caveman brain can't tell the difference. It treats a work presentation like a life or death fight. It treats a relationship argument like being abandoned in the wild. It treats every decision like your survival depends on it. But here's the plot twist that changed everything for me. You can watch your own mind at work. When you step out of emotional immersion and become the observer of your thoughts, something magical happens. You realize you are not your thoughts. You have them. It's the difference between being swept away by the river and standing on the bank watching the water flow. The thoughts still come, but you don't have to dive into the current. This isn't self-help fluff. It's neuroscience. When you practice psychological distancing, your brain literally changes. The areas tied to rumination calm down. The areas tied to executive control get stronger. Nature teaches you this without words. When you look at a starry sky, a mountain, anything that existed before you were born and will exist after you die, your mind finally shuts the hell up. You remember you're just a grain of sand in the universe. And paradoxically, that frees you instead of crushing you. Because if you're insignificant in the cosmos, so are your problems. And if your problems are insignificant, you can stop treating them like life or death situations. So now you've got a real choice. You can keep being a slave to your mind. Keep believing this mental theater is who you are. Keep staying addicted to rumination while your real life happens without you. Or you can accept that you're bigger than your thoughts. I'm not talking about positive thinking or good vibes only. I'm talking about stopping the worship of your own neurosis. Tonight, when that classic rumination hits, and it will, what are you gonna do? Dive headfirst like always? Or pause, take a deep breath, and ask, is this taking me anywhere or just making me anxious? Next time your friends want a co-rumination session, are you gonna join in? Or are you gonna say, okay, we've talked about the problem for 5 minutes. Now let's talk about solutions or change the subject. And if you want this kind of wake-up call more often, hit the subscribe button. This isn't motivation, it's reality. When you leave here, take a 15-minute walk outside. Not because I said so, because you finally understand your mind needs a reset. And nature is the most powerful reset button we've got. Create a simple ritual. Maybe a special coffee every morning. Maybe 5 minutes of deep breathing. Anything that brings order to the mental chaos. What won't work is pretending nothing's wrong, or saying, just don't think about it, or waiting for the day you wake up cured from rumination. That's not happening. This is daily work, like brushing your teeth, mental hygiene. The choice is yours, but make it fast. Because while you're sitting there wondering whether to change, guess what? You're already back to chatter again. Now comment below. When was the last time you went a whole day without chewing on something in your head? Getting this far is already a sign. But taking action after this, that's another story.